I'll just read one more bit. When the ship goes through the Suez Canal. We approached the canal in darkness at the stroke of midnight. A few passengers camped on the decks to take in the experience were half asleep, scarcely conscious of the clangs and bells that guided our ship into the narrow eye of the needle that was El Suez. We paused to take on an Arab harbor pilot who climbed from his barge up a rope ladder. He walked slowly towards the bridge, ignoring all authority around him. This was his property now. He would be the one to take us into even shallower waters and adjust the angle of the ship so we could slip into the narrower canal on which we would travel the 190 kilometers to port side. We could see him in the brightly lit horizontal windows of the bridge beside the captain and two other officers. This was a night we never slept. In less than an hour, we were sidling alongside a concrete dock with crates stacked into giant pyramids and men running with electrical cables and baggage carts alongside the slow-moving ship. Everywhere there was fast, intense work under the pockets of sulphurous light. We could hear shouts, whistles. The three of us hung over the railings, gulping in air, taking it in. This night turned out to be our most vivid memory of the journey, the time I stumble upon now and then in a dream. We were not active, but a constantly changing world slid past our ship, the darkness various, full of suggestion. Unseen tractors were grinding along the abutments. The cranes bent low, poised to pluck one of us off as we passed. We had crossed open seas at 22 knots, and now we moved as if hobbled, at the speed of a bicycle, as if within the gradual unrolling of a scroll. Bundles were being flung up onto the deck. I saw a painting leave the ship. In my sidelong glimpse, it appeared familiar. I might have seen it in one of the first-class lounges, but why would a painting be removed from the ship? I could not tell whether everything taking place was carefully legal or a frenzy of criminality, for only a few officials oversaw what was going on. And there was just the lit window of the bridge with the three constant silhouettes as if puppets guided the ship, following the orders of the harbor pilot. He came out a few times onto the deck and whistled into the night to instruct a man he recognized on shore. A concurring whistle replied, and we'd hear the splash of a dropped chain, and the bow of the ship would jerk suddenly to re-angle itself to one side or the other. Cassius and I perched precariously on the bow railing, where we could witness the fragmentary tableaus below us. A merchant with his stall of food, engineers talking by a bonfire, the unloading of refuse, all of them, all of this we knew we would never see again. So we came to understand that small and important thing, that our lives could be large with interesting strangers who would pass us without any personal involvement. I remember still how we moved in that canal, our visibility muted, those sounds that were messages from shore, the sleepers on deck missing this panorama of activity. We were on the railing, bucking up and down. We could have fallen and lost our ship and begun another fate as paupers or as princes. "Uncle," we shouted, if someone was close enough to distinguish our small figures. "Hello, Uncle!" And people would wave, fling us a grin. Everyone who saw us sliding by was an uncle that night. Under a swaying cord of electrical light, down there on shore, was a man sitting at a makeshift table, filling out forms he handed to a runner, who caught up with the ship and flung the papers with a metal weight, so they landed at the feet of one of the sailors. We never stopped moving. We passed the runner, as well as a man at the table, furiously recording the charts of exchange, and a canteen cook beside an open fire, roasting a thing whose odor was a gift, a desire in the night, a temptation to abandon ship after all the European food we had been eating for days. Count Cassius said, "That is what frankincense smells like." So our ship continued, guided by these strangers. We were collecting what was fresh from land, bartering for objects thrown on board. Who knows what was exchanged that night, and what cross-fertilization occurred, as the legal papers of entrance and exit were signed and passed back down to land, while we entered and left the brief and temporary world of El Suez.